Yo, hey guys, SmallmouthCrush. Today's video, we're gonna try to locate a bunch of big smallmouth. Get your drop shots ready, get your Ned rigs ready, and come along with me for hours and hours of fun, hours and hours of idling. So I get asked a lot with people that are coming up here fishing, you know, hey, can you throw me a bone? Where's a good spot to fish? What areas? And here's what I say. I say, pick a map, take a lake map. Look at the contours, look at the steep breaks, look at the underwater humps, look at the points that come out, and idle it. All you gotta do is idle. It might take a while, it might take you half a day, it might take you all day. You might not find any on one day. But eventually you're gonna run into a pot of fish. And that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna break it all down, what I'm looking for when I'm trying to locate these deep water smallmouth. That's all coming up. Okay, well, I picked just a main lake point to idle around, and I'm gonna spend a bunch of time here today just looking. The goal on days like this, when I have some time to just search, I'm just looking for new areas that are gonna hold fish, maybe hold fish in the future. So smallmouth, deep smallmouth really like some type of structured change, whether it be a cluster of boulders or some hard rock, or even sometimes just an area where it's a lot of rock and then it's just flat. Sometimes they'll get up on that too. So you can't be certain that it's going to be flat rock or boulder clusters or a single boulder or a single little rock pile. It could be a number of those things. So you have to check them all. You have to just search. And obviously I utilize my electronics a lot. So at the main deal right here, I have two graphs going. I'll show you how I have them set up. First of all, guys, I do want to give a shout out to Bass Boat Technologies. This is the mount back here that's holding these two graphs in place, and it's been a wonderful experience having this mount on the boat. I haven't had any issues in the last 2 years with this type of mounting system, and it's just set up really nice, and it's very sturdy. So these graphs aren't moving and fish a lot of big water, so that's really helpful. But over here I got the Eco Map, the Garmin Eco Map, and depending on the body of water I'm fishing will determine what map I use. So for instance here, I really like the Garmin map, which is the, I believe it's called the Lake View map. And then over here I have the Lake Master chip in, and every lake's different. So unfortunately, sometimes the Lake Master's better, sometimes this one's better. So we're utilizing this today, so we have a split screen. And then I have my 2D. Garmin has amazing 2D technology, and that's what I utilize quite a bit when I'm in search mode here, just idling. Over here, Humminbird has the best side image out there. So this is the mega imaging, allows me to really see structure. I got the 2D down here, which it's not, if you're using if you're relying on Hummingbird's 2D to find fish idling, you're gonna have a little bit tougher time. You really will. It's just the way it is. And then I have down image over here. Don't get me wrong, you can find fish on this, but it's nothing like what you're gonna see on your Garmin 2D. And so I'm gonna idle and kind of make grids in 20 to 40, 45 feet of water, and I'm just looking. So right here we have a bottomless feature, but we got a little fish down there. Now, what is it? I don't know. Now there is some clutter. There's going to be clutter when you have your screen set up right. All right, they do not look like the commercials, I promise you. They take all this stuff out and show you those beautiful arcs on all their commercials. That's not how it is in real life. That's just a way for you guys to spend your money and be blown away by the display. So you're gonna, depending on the water clarity and you know, algae and bait fish and stuff, you're gonna have that. So I don't get too concerned with that. So we're just gonna keep going down this point here, and I'm just gonna go this way. I'll come back, and I'm just gonna crisscross over this 20 to 40 feet of water. There's a pot of bait fish there, which I'm not too concerned with. These fish are keyed in on gobies, So bait fish are cool. It tells me that there's some life around, but for the most part, these smallmouth are oriented on eating gobies on the bottom. So for all you perch guys, that's what a big school of perch actually looks like on the bottom right there. And then here on the hummingbird, that's what that looked like. And on my side image, you can see I have it set at 80 feet on both sides, which is a pretty good distance. That's what I like to have it set on. 60 if I'm a little shallower. I might go out to 100 at times, but I found that 80 is probably the best. And again, we're just looking here. I'm really focusing on any structure change that I might see. We have kind of a barren bottom here. Not saying these fish aren't going to get on it, but if I do find them, it's probably going to just be a random school of them, and they may or may not be there the next day, especially when there's not a lot to hold these fish. I'm really going to run up into 20 feet of water, checking my graphs, and then once I get up shallow, there's a little fish there. I really want to see multiple fish on my 2D. That tells me that there's a bunch there. So once I get up shallow, I just simply go down, 100 feet, turn the boat, and just start idling back out into 45. So I'm just making grid marks. Because you could be, 50 yards from the sweet spot and not even know it. You have to really go back and forth. As good as these graphs are, they only mark fish directly below the boat. There could be a pot of fish right over here and I don't even know it. So that's why I get excited. If I see one mark, I might turn around. If I see 2 or 3 real tight to each other, I know there's probably more fish there. And again, not a whole lot on the bottom, but I don't know this area that I'm fishing that well. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just exploring, trying to find something different on the screen. That's a little guy. I saw him on the graph up front. I should take some time to show you what I'm looking for here. I found a few fish. I marked them in 20. And he's not big, but he's not too big. But I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm running live scope. This graph right here is showing me out 70 feet, what's in front. And this is showing me what's straight below the boat. So you'll see my bait. I'm going to drop it straight down here. And you'll see that bait fall. There's my bait. So when I see a fish on there, I'm shaking it a little bit. There's a school of perch right by the bait. And I'm going to drop it. They weren't even interested, but let's see if we can find a couple fish doing this. 2 smallmouth. They look pretty small, so I'm going to drop my bait. Alright, so there's a fish right out there. I'm going to cast to him. So I'm going to make a cast. It's very hard to do 3 things at once here, but I should be right around that fish. So I cast it out towards him. There's actually a bunch of fish out here. You can see them. Again, I don't worry about that clutter. I want to be able to see my bait fall. So there's this fish right here. I'm going to show you. You guys are watching on the back here. There, I had one come right after it. There he is. guys are not gigantic, but it's something to do. I really need to keep idling and look for that big school, but when they're biting, it's hard to leave them. And they're getting slightly bigger. Slightly bigger. So I'm going back over that area where those fish were. They weren't that big, but here's what they were holding on. Just these little clusters of rock. And there's a couple big boulders mixed in. I'm going to see if I can graph one. But that's all it took. And there they are. There's one sitting up on a rock. Probably see a couple more here as I continue around it. There we go. A couple right on the bottom. But that's it. This is what they were hanging out on. So it's a spot where you can maybe come back and it'll load up with big fish at times. So I just marked those fish right there. And there's not much going on. I backed up so you'll see some distortion. I'm now going to get up on the trolling motor and see if I can catch those fish. About there. Pretty close to where I cast it. So you don't want a lot of movement in your line. There, he picked it up. Not big. But it's a fish. A jumper. Sky high. Smallie. Pulled a little too hard on him. I've been known to do that. So I just went over a couple of these fish right here. And it looks like there might be more than just a few. So I'm going to idle back over it. There's not much on the side image. There's a few. It's pretty much clean bottom, flat. But where I saw these marks, see a little bit of boulder action up here. And you want to take note at the depth. You're starting to see more activity. That seemed to be in that 22 to 24 foot range. See some of that right there. That's what they'll sit on. Just a little different. Good one there. There's some pegs in here. That's a real good one. Oh, that's my life right there. Okay. Jesus, crying out loud. Oh my God. Yes. Whew. Well, maybe not, but he looked like, I mean, oh, he's big. He's big. Whew. I dropped that Gajo spirit shad in his face. You saw it. He bit. he was so white down there, I thought it was a sheephead when I saw him. But that's a, what is that? 7? We're gonna find out. That's a pig there. I got you, bro. He's got one eye on him, poor guy. That's probably why he bit. He was hungry. Look at this boulder. Full of them right here. Nice big rock pile I found. And they're on it. There he is. There's more than this little guy. Oh, he almost jumped right in the boat. It's not the prettiest looking fish ever. Hope you make it, bro. You look like a zombie. I don't know, dude. Good luck with life, for real. Good luck with life. So, here's the rock. Right there, right underneath my boat. And there was some fish on it. Try to get back over the top of it. Here it is on the down, the straight down. I'm just gonna drop a bait down on it, but so as you can see here, I'm gonna track a fish out here in front of the boat. I cast out to where he's at, and once I see that my bait's falling right on the fish, I do not move that drop shot. I see this all the time with people. Don't shake, jig, anything. Keep that drop shot dead stick until that fish bites. Days. I set the hook like he was 6 pounds. Same deal here. I see a fish, pitch out to it, let that bait fall, and try not to move.
Towards it.
There he is. Nice pig. That was a single roamer, guys. Like, you know, those are the easiest to catch, if you ask me. He's not. It was cool seeing him on the graph and dropping down to him. Got a chunky one in the boat. So, you guys know, medium light rod. Little shorter lead than I normally use. It's about 1.5 feet. I like 1.5 to 2 foot leader. And I'm gonna go with smoked purple next. good one too. There's another good one. I think I found a little sweet spot here. Just isolated rock patches. Well, not a bad way to end the video, guys. Not a big one, but it was fun. Idle around till you can find them. Steep breaks, underwater points, anything that looks fishy on the map. Idle, 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 use your electronics. It can take a while. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 fish every 100 yards. Sometimes in that 100-yard stretch, there's 1,000 fish. For real, that's how it can be. So you just have to put the time in. And guess what? Those fish, they're going to leave the next day. Sometimes. Or sometimes they'll stay in that area for weeks on end. It just really depends on the whole situation. I'm not a fish, so I don't know. It can be frustrating. But if you put your time in, you'll be able to come across a few good smallmouth. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, leave any likes and comments below. And as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.